Hey there, Aquarius, and welcome to your mid-August 2021 tarot reading. We're just going to fly right into this with your general vibe card here. All right, so we got for you the Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. That wasn't actually the turtle that said that, that was a tortoise. So we're already starting off on the wrong foot, or flipper, as it were here. But the Turtle Spirit is saying, slow and steady wins the race, right? You don't need to be going, balls to the walls or just go like pedal to the metal all the time, right? The Turtle Spirit wants you to know that like this isn't a race. Like, well, it's saying wins the race, but ultimately you're only really competing with yourself. You're not competing with others out there in your life, right? So the Turtle Spirit is saying like, hey, slow and steady wins the race. You just keep being persistent. You keep chugging along, right? And things are going to work out for you. Like it says at the start of this video, be positive, proactive, and persistent. And the Turtle Spirit wants you to be persistent. It may take a long time, but that's kind of what being persistent is. It's like still working hard despite, maybe you're not getting the results you want, right? But you're still working hard and still doing the best you can. So we will get you your spread here, Aquarius, to go along with this. So let's see what we got here for you. All right. So we have got for you the Hierophant, the Lovers, lots of major arcana, and the Six of Pentacles. So it seems like at this sort of you've been doing things the way everyone else kind of does them, which is kind of boring. That's the thing with the Hierophant. He's very boring, very much doesn't do things the way everyone else, or he does do things the way everyone else does them, but so much so that it's kind of like, we're just plugging away, keeping going, My favorite kind of thing I say with the Hierophant is success leaves clues, right? With the Hierophant. Because if you want to do something and be successful at something, the Hierophant says that just follow what everyone else does, right? Like, did this work for like everyone else? And like, if you're starting up like YouTube, for instance, it's like, and you want to be a vlogger, well, what do all the other popular vloggers do? Right? And once you find like what those things are, it's like, okay, well, I'll do my own twist on that to get where I want to go. So it's like, it's just saying this month, like, you got to be slow and steady in the race. Just keep relying on what's been successful to get there, right? We got the Lovers here, so maybe a big choice coming up for you if you're not looking for love, of course. But if you are looking for love as well, love is also a thing that you don't have to race for. It takes time to develop love. People say love at first sight and all that kind of stuff, and that's nice when it happens. But for a lot of us out here, you do have to work on it. It's something that takes time, something you have to be slow and steady with, right? And you want to be careful, right? You don't want to tell someone you love them too soon and scare them off, things like that. So it seems in the back half, maybe love is coming your way. And you just need to kind of do what everyone else does to get to that, right? You just need to, go out and try to put yourself out there, put yourself in the right place at the right time. Got to be persistent with that, though, right? You just because you're putting yourself in the right place at the right time, or putting yourself in the right place, doesn't mean you're putting yourself in there at the right time, right? Also, with the you just got to keep working hard on that. If you're not looking for love, though, just some sort of choice coming for you this month later on here. And again, I feel like just sticking with this, like what does everyone else do? Stick with that. And I feel like that's the surefire way. And lastly here, we have the Six of Pentacles. It's a card of balance and harmony. And it's also a card of being generous, right? And, being generous, not just with like your financial and physical, but not just with your financial or physical world, but with your time as well, right? Like you can spend time with people and be generous with it, right? On this back half of the month. Maybe this new person, that'll go a long way with them if you're encountering someone new. Could be a Taurus with the Hierophant here. You might be dealing with them, or maybe you have Taurus in your chart. Let me know down below if you do, but just saying, like, be generous with your time with these people. And not just this new person, if this is a new person coming in for you, but with everyone in your life, right? Be generous with that time. But of course, don't go overboard and give too much, and then you have no time for yourself, right? Alone time is very much important. So I'm liking all this, Aquarius. So We are going to get you some clarifiers here in just a second. Before we do though, Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. If you want to help out the channel, do that little extra mile. There's so much free stuff you can do, like hitting that thumbs up button down below, subscribing if you haven't already, hitting that bell icon too, sharing the video, and checking out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign videos too. And hopefully everything's going good with them as well. But let's see what we got for clarifiers for you here, Aquarius. So we got the Magician, I'm loving that. The Nine of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Ooh, cards went a little sideways on us here. But we got the Magician popping in first, clarifying the Hierophant. Like, the Magician is the master manifester. The Magician is very much a card of, you know, you want to bring in things. You want to bring in whatever this is you're racing towards, slowly and steadily. Whatever that is you're trying to manifest, you can do it, right? And again, you need to do it the way everyone else does it. You need to find out what those successful people do in order to find those things, and not just in your career, but in love, in, you know, your passions, whatever it is you're trying to do. You need to find what other people did, and you need to work on that, right? And that will manifest what you want, right? A lot of people think manifestation a lot of the time is just, you know, being in a positive mindset and just, you know, hoping that everything's going to work out. And you know what? Being in a positive mindset is great. Like I say at the start of the video, positive, proactive, persistent. But again, you need, the Magician's telling you to be proactive, right? You're in that positive mindset. You need to be proactive. You need to be persistent, right? This is all of what I'm always harping on about here. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this reading. The Nine of Wands is here over top of the Lovers. The Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior. Maybe you or this person coming in is the Wounded Warrior. Maybe you've gone through a tough bit of love lately yourself in the past. Maybe this person coming in has also done that. Maybe they're a Gemini, right? That's what the Lovers card is. So, or maybe you have Gemini in your chart. But the Nine of Wands is saying, like, you've been hurt. You're down, but you're not out, right? Like, you're still going. You're still moving forward. It's just, you know, you are wounded, or maybe it's them as well. So just, you know, you have to be careful with those kind of folks. And you want to be careful with yourself so you're not getting your hurt as well. So, you know, we're just in maybe a little bit of a precarious spot when it comes to love in the back half of August here. And lastly, we have the Three of Swords clarifying the Six of Pentacles. And that's saying that, you know, with things like this, with, you know, trying to live in balance and harmony, you need to kind of cut out stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, right? And maybe that's what you need to do when you're spending time with, in order to be more generous with your time. You need to cut out those things that don't serve you anymore. So if you want to be generous with folks, you want to give out, maybe you need to cut out things that don't serve you anymore so that you can spend more time with your friends, more time with your family, more time with this new person coming in as well. Or you could just be saying, like, hey, cut out some things that don't serve you anymore, and maybe you can be generous with that and give to those who don't need, or who do need that, whereas you don't, right? Like, maybe you got a bunch of clothes lying around and they, you know, you don't wear them anymore or something. You're never going to wear them again. It's like, maybe just go donate them or something, right? Or something along those lines, right? Just cut those things that don't serve you anymore, and give them to someone else who could make use of them. So I'm liking all that. That's awesome, Aquarius. So like I say, just make sure you're doing things the way everyone else does. I know that's really boring and stuff, but that's the path to get to the end of to get to the finish line. And, you know, just be careful with new love coming in. Be careful with yourself as well. You know, nobody wants to get hurt. So just know that sometimes people like that do need a little more time. So there's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, cut out those things that don't serve you anymore. And maybe someone else will find something of use of them. Or just be generous with your time, or be generous with your time as well in the back half of August here, because maybe that's going to do wonders for that person coming in. So I'm liking all that. Thank you so much for being here, Aquarius. That is all I have for you this week. This half of the month, I should say. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, you can do all that free stuff that helps out the channel, like liking, subscribing, sharing, and checking out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos after this one. Thank you so much for being here, Aquarius, and I hope to see you in the next video. And you're seen off by Journey scrapping at the floor.